moving on, apart from the 30 million naira being received by the candidacy of the All Progressive candidate, you see, you could the only thing I could see is his daughter being in school in UK. Why did you even bring her to Nigeria? Nigeria you so love so much that you want to develop. Your daughter is somewhere abroad studying in a UK-based school where they pay a lot of money, and you're coming to say, you see, blah, 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 blah. I'm just an ordinary Nigerian. How many ordinary Nigerians have sent their daughters to the UK to study? So really, so let us stop those things like saying, yes, Barry, right now he's not corrupt because he doesn't have any money. The tricks of him, his what they call a ticket for his party was paid by someone because he didn't have the money. If he said he didn't have the money to pay for his own party ticket to nomination ticket to contest, that means he's extravagant. That means you've been receiving 30 million and you couldn't take out 20 million from one of your months to pay for your candidacy. That the person will want to, like, seriously. Seriously, the fact is that if you state it clearly, you came out on open media air and said, he called his bank and the bank said, I asked, do I have such a money in my account? And they were like, they don't know. So, sir, you've been receiving 30 million naira every month, and for just your election, you couldn't pay for it. So you see, you couldn't pay. You see, there's a word here. There's a faithful. There's not faithful in little. Is it so much that you'll be faithful in? I wonder what you'll be doing now after you finish. You know, I would have really loved the great opposition to put someone that will give the president run for his money. You have a very okay, a president. You see, I'm not saying to say the president of the PDP is the best candidate, which he stated clearly, but I'm just saying, sir, which oppositions, which of the opposition party has brought out the better candidacy that will give the president the run for his money? Is it someone who we are still in court, and the court case are still debating over his certificate because he's saying, I brought it out in the last election. All my elections, I used to bring out my certificate. Why don't you bring it now? Why don't you, if someone is being accused for something, you bring it out and state it clearly. And yes, it's on point. And yeah, this election would still go on. Yes, my certificate, people, you see, those people were false. But no, the election is still going on, but we are not yet sure if you had your certificate. Maybe you had it, yeah, maybe it was it, but sir, please, can you just tell everyone what happened to it now? I'm not really having anything against him. I told you when I was in Nigeria, and then when there was the 2007 election, I told you, and I told it earlier in my previous video, if I really voted, because then is it 2013? I think it's 2000, not 2013. I think it was like, yeah, 2000, and this is 2015. Yeah, I think 2011. Yeah, election. If I had voted then, I know I would have voted for him because I was caught in a way where I was on transit. I had my election. I registered in another state, and I had to fly to another state the following day, a day prior to the election because of some emergency thing that went on. But seriously, if only I voted that very day, I would have voted for you, General Muhammadu Buhari, because then I thought, yeah, because of my closed mentality about the whole thing, that you were the best candidate. Maybe you were the best then, but now I think you should give yourself some break. You should we are moving forward to more jet age and more things are being created. So I think the future generations should be given more opportunities, not still looking for. Okay, now let's just imagine something. You won your election. Right now, you're currently at the age of 73. You're 73. I'm gonna get my pen here. I'm gonna write it clearly. You're 73. So you win. Let's say you win this election. So at the end of 2019, you'll be 77. You'll be 77. So you're gonna say at the age of 77, you'll come out to Nigeria. I'm tired of presidency. I'm not gonna contest again. No, it's gonna be obvious because everyone want to contest, just like the way the good luck is doing. You want to contest for another 4 years. Then you'll be 81. Like seriously, you'll be 81. I can remember my granddad at the age of 17. I know how he was like because I think I saw him. No, I know I saw him. So I'm just imagining you 73. And the latest interview, they were asking you about your age stuff. You're saying, me, I'm even fit. You compare yourself like if you think you're 50 and you're fit. Me, I'm 72. I can be fitter than I'll be more fit than you. Okay, but the fact is that people get age. We go our activity, science, rocket science is simple. The fact is that this through my experience from my knowledge so far I've gathered, when you go down with age, so many things weakens. Okay, the truth is that yeah, fine. Where I'm coming from is from like where I've learned to study human beings. Okay, fine. Let me just admit it. I'm a medical student. So I know what I'm talking about when I say you can't compare someone who is 50 and you can't compare someone who is 73. The age difference is clear. If you put a 23-year-old person, I think the person should be called a youth who should be able to think about, okay, right now the truth is that I'm 23. So the difference between you 50 and a 73-year-old person is me. And you still compare yourself like you're being fit. Seriously. Well, I'm not really coming here to criticize on you. I'm just saying my analysis and stuff. Okay, back to our thing we're talking about the change you guys were talking about, the APC, the slogan change. Do you want to change the already growing economy to what? There's been progress. If you're good in your statistical analysis, you will know that yes, there's really been improvement in the economy, and the graph shows it all. When you have a graph and there's been big steady improvement, and you're saying you want to, and the improvement and the point of the graph is pointing towards the y-axis, which is the up slope, and the up slope is economical development. And someone comes and say, rate this economy, and you say it's a down slope. That means you're reading it from another perspective. You're reading it not from the graph. You're reading it just from your sentimental perspective. You're reading it just from your personal dislikes. The truth is that diversifying our economy has been a great deal for us for years, because since from the onslaught of the black gold, which is called the crude oil, diversifying the economy has been a big threat because everyone wants to go into the maritime sector. When you're in the maritime sector, you're talking about the oil sector to be able to be importing and exporting. Everyone has been going into the petrochemical sector. oil business is kind of the biggest business, and you're saying you want to diversify. It's not really been easy, but you see, right now, there's a way. Right now, there's like a light in the when you're talking about diversifying of the economy for years, which is not or which has not been reached. At least there's some little light, even though not really as expected, because of obviously when everybody is thriving in the oil sector, when you're talking about the oil people that deal in oil, they're billionaires, they're trillionaires. Obviously, no one will want to change what is good. No one will want to change what is enjoying from. No one is going. That's why it's not been there. But seriously, recently we could see some really great changes in the oil sector. The oil sector has not the oil sector, the diversifying of the economy has really seen some light, which by we are going little by little, steadily, because no one hits the day, no one gets to that height, no one becomes successful in just the blink of an eye. No, we become successful as in a steady progression, which I see right now. From my analysis and my study, I see a progressive, steady increase in the economy, and I don't see change. I don't think we should change it. I think we should continue it. You see, economic wise, everyone knows, every Nigerian knows that Nigerian economy is in the steady slope for now. When you're talking about change, she's really trying. His Excellency, the Minister of the Finance, she's really handling the finance sector of Nigerian economy well. There's a really steady change, a steady growth change from what it used to be. You see, people going into the supporting you, you should think about it. These were people. One of the person I was shocked that was like moved um to the opposition party and supporting it was there for 8 years in a very steady high growth oil prices. Our naira was devalued. I was there when, after towards the ending part of the mobile phone thing, we were there when the mobile phone brought here. President Olusegun Obasanjo, former president Olusegun Obasanjo, brought about the revamping of the mobile sector. So it was so nice and we appreciating it. Then I could remember the naira to a dollar was 87, 85. It came high to 85 in its tenor. We were like, okay, fine. I remember when I wanted to buy a phone, then it was really nice and stuff like that. I think that was in 2007, 2008, 2006. Then the next thing you see, I went to a phone shop on a day. It was like 85 naira to a dollar. I think it was 2006. Yeah, I went to the phone pack like in 2 or 3 weeks time because of the increase. I was expecting the phone it goes down by yay. Okay, like okay, yeah, I saved for it. I could remember I was just saving for a phone, and I went back 2 weeks time. The phone was almost twice. Why? Because the naira jumped from 85 naira with a steady no decrease in oil prices, and everything was normal to 150. I'm not lying. Professor Soludo, I think he was then, yeah, not think, I know he was the then minister of, governor of the central bank. He was even summoned to the House of Assembly to explain this hype, large devaluation of our naira. And then it was the then president Olusegun Obasanjo, which is currently supporting the APC. I really want to ask you, what did you do then? When you had the opportunity, you finished your 8 years. We had just 2,000, less than 2,000 megawatt. You met it, and that was what you say. You left us, no change in the power sector. But in the talking about change also in the power sector, we could see our power sector from 2000. Right now, we are presently more than 4,000 megawatt, almost twice. And you want us to change. What are you talking about? You look talking about change for the good or change for the bad. Do you mean good for Nigeria, or you meant bad for Nigeria when you're talking about change? When you're seeing a obvious increase um, um, radiant like slope, and you're still talking about change. You know, the job creation has really been something also I would want to talk about and really analyze also. The job creation has been remarkable. It has been nice. The economic growth, as I spoke about, the economic growth development inclusion in like Davos 2015, they stated this 2015 Davos spoke about it. You see, when they were talking about it, they were like, yeah, right now, what we've noticed, what's like the problem with Nigerians, that's why most Nigerians are not seeing something, seeing this. You see, there's a difference between growth in economy and the growth and the developmental growth, like the inclusive developmental growth. The inclusive development growth is the one that goes to the streets, to the masses, how this growth in the economy touches the life of the ordinary Nigerian. How when you know this person has no job and now the person has job, yes, you person can really say yes, the economy is growing because I was he that's having a job has decreased the number of he that he the person having a job now has decreased the number of unemployment rate because now he has a job. So that's a development, that's increased development growth, like inclusive development growth. So you see, now I think the giant stripe, which the minister stated, when someone is saying something and he stated the problem, yeah, the person is thinking about the solution. Yeah, there's a growth in the economy from this level to this level, but right now, which most Nigerians are not feeling it because of the lack of increased development growth, which is not just a Nigerian problem. It's even worldwide, even in the United States. You could hear high number of growth here, Americans getting this growth, but even on the street there are higher levels, rate of unemployment, and you want to ask where's the growth? How come it's not getting to them? So this is what is called this economic development inclusive growth. Yeah, those are the margins. So you see, and she's saying she's really working on it. So right now, the fact is that they gave statistics before you can say yes, the economy is growing. That there will be high level of job creation. Before you want to talk about job creation, you would want to know how many number of people needs this job. So before they'll talk about job creation. This present administration has really brought about a figure, not just it brought about a figure to the number of unemployment. So they know when they brought this problem, they're bringing the solution. I don't know. Seriously, I am not really a direct benefactor of a good luck administration. Directly, like, yeah, he gave me this or stuff like that. But you see, I'm just one person out here looking at things, watching the news regularly, following statistics, analyzing facts, analyzing stuff, hearing interviews, hear people talk. And I listen that most people just talk out of sentimental ideas, not really facts, just out of their own pocket filled ideas. The problem is that I think I'll say this present administration, what they lack is marketing. I think, yeah, he should create more light in the um what do they call it, like he should work on the technological sector where everyone has a right to be informed. When you create a nice technological sector, there'll be freedom of information because people will use technology to find that information for themselves. I did this most of my reports and analysis and analyzing myself because I had an opportunity to with the right technology brought. The problem about the economy, the growth sector, and the job creation problem, you see, the population is growing steadily. You see, that's one problem. You see, when you talk about how many people need job and you say it's 10,000, then the next year there won't be 10,000. Why? Because the truth is that if you provide a number, if you say 17,000 jobs I'll create, you find out that in next year, you find out that the population has increased. So you're thinking about creating 17,000 jobs so that it will meet the needs of Nigeria, and you find out that there's a margin increase because of what? Nigeria has a steady population growth. You see, these problems are problems that are not really irrational to the government incapability to like maintain it. It's a problem that is really coming up due to our like should I say daily populational increase. Yeah, so you can't just slam a government who is really working just based on some population statistics. Because the truth is that no one's gonna say this government is working unless the person is directly touched.